Today I unveil a tale of resilience, the saga of the critically endangered western swamp tortoise in our beloved Swan Coastal Plain. Thought lost, this enchanting species re-emerged in the 1950s. However, within a decade, the population plummeted from over 200 to around 30 surviving wild individuals by the mid-80s. The intricate web of habitat loss, climate change, and predation now poses a significant threat to the survival of the western swamp tortoise, requiring our immediate and focused attention. Listed internationally, nationally, and locally as critically endangered, the western swamp tortoise is deemed rare or at high risk of extinction. This signifies an urgent need for intervention, emphasising more than a mere conservation concern. This unique species, both in its appearance and ecological role, requires a specific habitat with shallow temporary swamps on clay soil within the Swan Coastal Plain region. Historically, the population spanned from the Perth Airport to the Royal Australian Air Force Base, but has now been confined to a narrow 3 to 5 kilometre strip within the Ellenbrook Nature Reserve, with translocation sites at Twin Swamp, Mongumba, and Moore River Nature Reserves. The western swamp tortoise is positioned as a mid-trophic level predator in the food web. Being carnivorous, this species actively preys on a variety of organisms, including macroinvertebrates, insect larvae, small crustaceans, worms, tadpoles, and small fish. This tortoise is a resilient survivor and contends with predation from both native and introduced predators. Native threats include bandicoots, ravens, goannas, straw-necked ibis, and white-faced heron, while introduced predators are the European red fox, feral pigs, laughing kookaburras, black rats, and cats. Predators actively forage and hunt for tortoise eggs, hatchling, and aviestating individuals, causing injuries and fatalities among the juveniles and adult western swamp tortoise. The ecological costs of introduced species are profound, causing severe damage to communities and disrupting the crucial ecological processes. This isn't merely a creature teetering on the edge of extinction. It's a keystone species. The looming extinction poses a threat of an ecological cascade that could reshape the entire Swan Coastal Plain landscape. The Swan Coastal Plain, a place many of us call home, is intricately linked with the fate of the western swamp tortoise. The decline threatens our local ecosystem, altering predator-prey dynamics and mineral recycling processes. This will impact the cherished flora and fauna that define our landscape. Since the early 1960s, efforts to safeguard this species have been nothing short of incredible. Dedicated conservation sites, captive breeding programs led by the Perth Zoo, and the dynamic Western Swamp Tortoise Recovery Team all collaborate to make a real difference. This team has rolled out threat abatement strategies, including fox-proof fencing, fox removal, one-way tortoise gates, and baiting programs. The recovery team launched programs in 1994, and after nearly 30 years, the western swamp tortoise population hasn't just made a comeback, it's on a steady rise, soaring beyond 400. Dive into local and national initiatives and campaigning programs that fortify threat protection through trapping, baiting, fox-proof fencing, and one-way tortoise gates. Join forces with Turtle Tracker and become advocates for policies that secure the western swamp tortoise and its habitat. Conservation isn't a task reserved for experts. It's a shared responsibility and an empowering call to action for our entire community. Let us stand together, united in our commitment to preserving the western swamp tortoise and its habitat, embracing sustainability pillars and fostering environmental responsibility.